What's going on? My name is Cole Connor. I'm an artist and entrepreneur, and today I want to take a look at Joe Rogan and Mr. Beast talking about how he became successful on YouTube and just kind of talk through it with you. Let's see how it goes. What's going on? My name is Cole Connor. I'm an artist and entrepreneur, and I was put here to do two things: create and inspire. Thanks for being here. Let's get into it.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, it's been crazy because I've been doing it since I was 11. And
really?
Yeah, so now I'm 23, and so it's just like basically every year it just gotten crazier and crazier. And I used to make $1 a day back. Well, the first few years I wasn't even making money off YouTube, but once I started making money, I was making $1 a day, and I saved up for.
He was 11, and now he's 23. 12 years in the game. That should say something right now. And he didn't make money for a long, like the first several years.
Once I bought a microphone, saved up for half a year, I got a computer, and I've just always reinvested it. And so it's like literally just all, I mean, I was like as awkward as they came, no money, no nothing. And I just basically just obsessed over YouTube every day for a decade.
Are your first episodes available when you were 11 years old?
No, because I had a friend when I was 13 that found my channel. And so
I'm going to speed this up just to save us both some time here. Let's do, I wish he had those videos when he was 11. That'd be cool to see.
I deleted like all the videos. I got really self-conscious.
Oh no!
But so everything from 13 and up is there. Yeah, they're fucking terrible.
That's still cool. Yeah. So what did you do when you first started? Like, what was the first idea?
The very first video, weirdly enough, I played this stupid game and some hacker like killed my base when I was 11, and so I uploaded it. And my first video got 20,000 views like instantly because it was like all the people that played the game was like, oh shit, you can hack it.
Fun fact, I used to make these videos where I would get a popular song and then mash movies together when I was like 14. I didn't even realize what I was doing. Kind of like he's saying, got so many views. But unfortunately, he was smarter than me because when I did it, I never even thought about it. But some of those videos, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 views. And if I would have stuck with it and kept creating, I probably would be in a completely different position now, but I didn't even think about it until later on. I went back and checked them out when I was like 20, and I was like, holy shit.
Game. It's a game called Battle Pirates. I guarantee no one listens.
What's it called?
Battle Pirates. No one here has ever heard
Battle
of it.
Card?
Battle Pirates.
Battle Pirates.
Yeah, it's a really small game, but I
never heard of it.
And it got 20,000 views. And that was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me because I was hooked from day one. Literally, like most people, it takes hundreds of videos before you get like one view. And somehow the very first video I uploaded at 11 got like 20,000 views. And then I was just like, oh, I fell in love, and I've been hooked ever since.
Wow. So it was kind of almost by accident.
Essentially, yeah. It was that, and then because this was way before YouTube was even a thing. Like, no one was really a YouTuber. Hardly anyone made money.
When did YouTube first when did you launch?
Like 2006 or whatever. Yeah. YouTube was a thing, but like the partner program wasn't really a thing. No one was making money. It was definitely back before it was cool. Like when I was doing YouTube when I was 14 or 15, like now, it's cool if you want to be a YouTuber in high school or middle school. Back then, like no one gave a fuck. It's like you're just worried they would try to play your videos in class or make money or stuff like that for it.
So, but how did it evolve to what it is now? Was it a vision? Was it a slow, sort of a gradual increase in numbers? And
yeah, I mean, it's about as slow as it gets. Like when I was a young teenager, I was getting no views, had no money, had no equipment. So for the most part, it was just like I was just trying to scrounge money so I could buy equipment because I was using my brother's old laptop. And so like my first couple hundred videos, I didn't have a microphone. Like imagine just like fractally terrible.
First couple hundred of videos.
And so once I got monetized, I saved up for a few months. Like I told you, I bought a microphone. I just give you my history. And I saved up for like 6 months. I mean, I was just doing video game videos. They're terrible, but I saved up. I got a real computer. So now I can actually record the video game in high quality. I have a microphone. I'm like 15 and I just kept going and going. Trying to figure out like, what are some of like the hot spots? Like essentially up until 18, I had been doing YouTube pretty religiously, but I was making no money. Like this is kind of the turning point was when I graduated from high school. And my whole life I was like, I want to be making enough money by the time I graduated to do this full time. And I wasn't. I was still only making $200 a month.
So that's over 5 years. I'm just breaking this down. Like sometimes you got to put in so much more work than we think to do well on YouTube. Like some people are really going hard for a long, long fucking time. And I'm in it now almost 4 years, but I haven't been consistent, but still, I mean, he probably wasn't the entire time too, or maybe he was. I don't know.
Graduated high school. And my mom was like, either move out or go to community college. And I didn't have enough money to move out, but I hated school with a passion. But she forced me to go to community college. And that was the worst thing ever. Like that made me hate life. Like borderline suicide. I just can't stand like having to just sit there and listen to this dumb stuff and listen to some teacher read out a book. So
agreed.
What I did was I would act like I was going to community college, but I would just work on videos in my car and edit and stuff like that. I had straight zeros. And so now the clock had started. Because once my mom found out, I was screwed.
Were you aware of that? Like you're running a risk?
Yeah, exactly. And so I would act like I was going to college the whole time, but I wasn't. I didn't have enough money to move out. And that was kind of when I was just like, 15 hours a day, all in. I was like, I'm fucked if this doesn't work. And actually, I had some videos pop off. I couldn't tell you which ones, but I had a month where I made 20 grand because I just had some videos just do really, really well.
That would be so
I came home
cool.
and I was like, yeah, I haven't been going to college, and I moved out the next day. My mom almost had a heart attack because she didn't understand YouTube or anything back then, and she was like, man, this guy's been working at McDonald's. I wasted all this time. Like, I invested 18 years in this. What I get.
Where were you living? What part of the country?
North Carolina. That's where I've lived almost my whole life.
And so, how does she feel now?
Oh, she's great. She's beyond happy. Yeah, she loves it. Put her in front of her friends. She loves talking about it. She obviously.
Oh, I always knew little Jimmy was going to be a success.
No, she doesn't try to hide it. We would fight all the time. Even in high school, like, I never once studied. I literally wouldn't even take my books home. Like, I legit don't think I studied once all of high school at my house. And so we would fight a lot. I didn't have the best grades. And so I would just make videos, and she didn't understand it, especially because back then it was just a whole different world. Like, there wasn't really a thing as a full-time YouTuber and stuff. And so it's a lot of arguments, a lot of drama, but it ended up working out. She's happy.
The thing is, it's like nobody saw this coming, right? So you can't blame her.
But especially me, in like the middle of North Carolina, in a small town, I had like horrible acne. I'm especially back then, really awkward. It's like no one, like people would have bet $1 million that I wouldn't be a YouTuber. You know, it makes no sense. But I just I have hyper obsession, and I love this. And you give it enough time, anyone can solve it.
Well, there's a lesson in that for people, really. Like, just if you do have a hyper.
That's the one thing I think about. Like, he does seem like hyper obsessed with YouTube in general, and like for me, I love creating, but I wouldn't say that I'm obsessed with it. Obsession seems like a lot. Like, I'm not obsessed with figuring out the formula. I more just am in love with the art of creation and thinking and trying to, expand. But he seems to take it, to a whole nother level, which, has been amazing for him, but it also seems like a lot of stress.
Something. There's a lot of people that think that because they're bad at school or because they're not interested in school, they're destined to be a loser.
Yeah.
And that's not true. The problem with school is too rigid. Like regular public school system, sit down, underpaid teacher, disinterested, not really connected with the work. You're not connected with it. You just can't wait to go home and do what you like to do.
Exactly.
And you get this thought in your head like, oh my God, I'm going to be a loser. And that's how I was when I was in high school. I thought I was going to be a loser.
Well, and you take it a step further because I thought, especially if you're like extremely passionate about something at a young age, where most kids aren't, then it's more exacerbated that it's like, I didn't talk to anyone. I hardly had any friends because I was so obsessed with YouTube. Because back then, just no one cared. So it's like, I thought I was just like, just didn't even know how to speak. Like literally, I just couldn't hold a conversation with a single person because people would just tell me all you talk about is YouTube, and I would try to talk about something else. But back then, I was so hyper obsessed, I literally just didn't know how to.
What were you obsessed about? Were you obsessed about other channels, your channel?
Everything from like learning how to editing, the pacing of the videos, like ideas, what's going viral, what's trending, what's hot. Especially back then, I had no idea what worked. I mean, I had to like self-teach myself everything, even framing on cameras, coloring of the video, just stuff like that.
And how did you learn? Did you learn from YouTube?
Yeah, well,
so like YouTube videos and tutorials or something?
Most of my growth came actually after I graduated high school. Basically, what I did was I somehow found these other like 4 lunatics. We were 3 of us in college.
That's crazy. Only in the past like 4 to 5 years, and now he's got like however many million. I mean, that's fucking wild, dude.
One was a high school dropout, and one, I don't know, he just like quit his job. We were all super small YouTubers, and we basically talked every day for 1,000 days in a row and did nothing but just like hyper studies, like what makes a good video, what makes a good thumbnail, what's good pacing, like how to go viral. And we just call it like daily masterminds. We would just get on Skype every morning, and like some days like I'd get on Skype at 7 a.m. and I'd be on the call until like 10 p.m. and I'd go down and doing it. And we'd do things like just take it up.
It's so interesting that he like loves that. You can tell like he loves that. That sounds a little miserable to me. Like do it so much, but that's pretty cool that he's so passionate.
Some thumbnails and see if like there's a correlation to the brightness of the thumbnail, how many views you got, or like like videos that get over 10 million views is like how often do they cut the camera angles or like things like that.
Yeah, so you can microanalyze
everything. Just I mean for like we were very religious about it, and so that's where most of my knowledge came from. Is I just surround myself with these lunatics and just every day like we didn't do anything, we had no life.
But everybody had sort of a similar vision.
Yeah, exactly. So we all had like 10, 20,000 subscribers when we met, and by the time we stopped talking, we all had millions of subscribers. And we all hit 1 million subscribers like within a month. It's crazy because it's like you envision a world where you're trying to be great at something, and it's just like you learning and fucking up and learning from your mistakes. Also, my mom told me not to curse. Sorry, Mom. If someone could just like edit out the swear words and give it to me, Mom. Yeah, so I could give it to my mom to listen to. That'd be great. But like you mess up, you learn from your mistake. You mess up, you learn from your mistake. You in 2 years, might have learned from 20 mistakes. But if you have like 4 other people who are also messing up, and when they learn from their mistake, they teach you what they learned. So like hypothetically, you 2 years down the road have learned like 5 times more of the amount of stuff. So it just like helps you grow exponentially way quicker. If that makes any sense?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. So, but it's interesting that you thought about it that way in sort of a systematic approach. Like
exactly.
This is not dumb luck.
No, I mean, it was like they say 10,000 hours of math or something. We probably put like 40, 50,000 hours. Wow. We're talking like every day, all day, like literally nothing. We had no friends outside of the group. That was your life. And
I'm actually rereading that book right now, that Malcolm Gladwell book, Outliers, that talks about that 10,000 hours principle. It totally applies to what you did. 100%. I mean, like it sounds like you were just all day, every day, and which makes sense. We have now 90 million subscribers.
Well, we across everything, we're closing in on 200 million subscribers. Jeez. Yeah, have you seen our dub channels? No. Can you pull that up? Just search Mr. Beast and SVO. So we actually
even this like his dub channels, he takes it to this whole other level by doing all these different dub channels and I'm going to stop it right here. But yeah, the dub channels he does, the reaction channels, his main channel and clips and everything, or philanthropy, his nonprofit. He literally takes he takes it so seriously. He's passionate about it, and there's like a systematic business strategicness to Mr. Beast that you don't notice, but then until you look a little deeper and you're like, oh shit, that's crazy. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed that. The whole podcast, I haven't listened to the whole thing yet, but I've listened to a lot of it. Very interesting. Y'all should check it out on Joe Rogan. My name is Cole Connor. I am an artist and entrepreneur. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. If you want me to react to something else or you enjoyed this, let me know. I'll catch you next time. Peace.
Every day I wake up with a vision, cooking in the kitchen, ain't no fucking in a mission, like yo. Shaking up the city with my bitchin', sold in the building, and the motherfucker fishing, like whoa. Cole won't stop till they get that gold. Cole won't stop till you sing my song all the way home.